of the nation's goals to achieve the 95-95-95 pathway for ending the AIDS epidemic. In the meantime, President Bola Tinubu has also approved the appointment of Dr. Temitope Ilori to serve as the Director General of NACA for an initial term of 4 years. Dr. Ilori is a senior lecturer in the Department of Community Medicine at the University of Ibadan and a consultant family physician at the University College Hospital, Ibadan. The president expects the new NACA DG to bring her wealth of experience and expertise into this seminal role to achieve the mandate of NACA, which includes coordination, monitoring, and evaluation of the Strategic National Plan for the control of HIV/AIDS and STDs. In the same vein, the president has appointed Dr. James Enimi Omitiemi as the Chief Medical Director of the Federal Medical Center, Yenagoa, Bayelsa State, for an initial term of 4 years, and the reappointment of Professor Saad Aliyu Ahmed as the Chief Medical Director of the Federal Medical Center, Abuja, for a second term of 4 years. Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, has advocated amendment of procurement laws, especially on security in the FCT. The minister advocated these during a media parley in Abuja. Onoze Yakubu reports.
Procurement processes on security issues should be waived and be regarded as emergency. FCT Minister Nyesom Wike says to effectively combat security challenges in the territory, the procurement laws need to be amended as obtainable in other developed nations of the world.
It was when it happened in January, I have to run to Mr. President, look, we can continue. As Mr. President gave us emergency procurement approval immediately that we must get this equipment, and which we have done. Then the only snag we now have, again, I have said, in terms of security, we don't need to bring bureaucracy.
Nyesom Wike further reiterates that despite hiccups, the May deadline for the operation of the Abuja Light Rail is sacrosanct.
The way the contract was so structured is something that if you don't have the heart, you run away. You run away because you don't know whether you will achieve it or not. But because we are determined, God willing, the way things are now, it's likely that we'll succeed by May.
The minister says the infrastructure development in the FCT, which is transforming the nation's capital into a construction site, and the takeoff of the FCT Civil Service Commission are to rekindle the hope of the residents in line with the Renewed Hope initiative of the president. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
In the meantime, the Archdiocese of Abuja Methodist Church, Nigeria, has commended the Minister of the Federal Capital Territory, Nyesom Wike, for changing the narratives in infrastructure development and security in the territory. The Archbishop of the Diocese, Most Reverend Michael Akinwale, gave this commendation when he led other bishops of the church on a courtesy visit to the minister in Abuja. Onoze Yakubu again reports.
Thank you for the way you have inspired him. Thank you for the monumental achievement that he has achieved so far.
That prayer note sets the tone for the robust discussion. Leader of the delegation and the Archbishop of the Abuja Methodist Church of Nigeria, Most Reverend Michael Akinwale, commends the minister for the revolutionary changes he has brought to the FCT.
We commend you trying to maintain the master plan and, of course, the security which you have provided. Today, we can sleep with our 2 eyes closed. Within the last few months, it has been very, very traumatic. So we commend you on that. And we know that you will replicate what you also did in Rivers State.
FCT Minister Nyesom Wike, full of appreciation, emphasizes the role of the church in ensuring peace in the country, hence the need to partner religious bodies.
Whatever we can do to support, we'll always do that. That is why, as FCT, we take responsibility for maintenance of the Christian Center and the National Mosque. These are 2 national assets that FCT is responsible
in maintaining, because we all believe that we serve one God.
He, however, solicits continued prayers for Nigeria and her leaders. Onoze Yakubu, NTA News.
Former Chairman, Abuja Municipal Area Council, Abdullahi Adamu Kandidu, has commended President Tinubu over the recent appointments to the FCT Public Service Commission. He, however, appealed to the indigenous people of the Federal Capital Territory who are aggrieved over the appointments to avoid anything confrontational against the government. The immediate past mandate secretary, FCT Transport Secretariat, made the appeal during a press briefing on the state of the FCT in Jiwa, Amak Area Council. Deborah Gazaji-Maika reports.
Following the approval of President Tinubu's appointments to the chairman of the boards, as well as 9 permanent secretaries of the FCT Public Service Commission, that led to agitations among some indigenous people in the FCT over the number given to them, the former mandate secretary, Transport Secretariat, Abdullahi Adamu Kandidu, has appealed for the appointment to be looked into, as he urged the people not to take laws into their hands.
To strengthen the relationship, we suggest that Mr. Wike should look the other way, so that those from the Abuja South, 4 area councils for that matter, should also feel being carried along.
Abdullahi Adamu Kandidu commended President Tinubu for giving the indigenous people of the FCT the opportunity to serve in various offices in this administration.
We must remain steadfast in support for Mr. President as being represented by Mr. Wike in FCTA. And as far as we are concerned, as APC members in FCT, proudly members of this party, we will never do anything to undermine the administration or the successes recorded by Mr. Wike, but we're asking him to strengthen engagement.
He therefore promised that the FCT indigenes will be ready to work and support the present administration. In Abuja, Deborah Gazaji-Maika, NTA News.
And talking health, World Kidney Day is an annual global awareness and educational event which provides the opportunity to share relevant information about kidney health. This informed the outreach sessions by the Neurology Nurses Association, National Hospital Abuja branch, to a school and a motor park to raise awareness on the management of kidney and the risk factors for kidney disease, all in commemoration of the day. Hakimat Aliyu reports.
World Kidney Day celebration started in 2006, and this is the 18th global commemoration. At the National Hospital Abuja, nephrology nurses are concerned by the alarming cases of people suffering from some forms of kidney damage, culminating in deaths annually of people who die prematurely of complications related to chronic kidney diseases.
Unfortunately, there are several different diseases of the kidney, but by far the most common and most impactful is what we call chronic kidney disease. This is a progressive ailment that leads to gradual damage of the kidney. This is unfortunately very prevalent and becoming more and more common every day.
We want the government to come into place so that at least to see how they can provide a succor in terms of reducing the price of the dialysis, and also help in making people to be aware.
Kidneys play a key role in the human body function, not only by filtering the blood and getting rid of waste products, but also balancing electrolyte levels in the body. Hence the outreach to create awareness on the care for the kidney at the popular Jabi Motor Park, organized by the Nephrology Nurses Association, National Hospital Abuja branch.
We brought this to them at their doorstep to be able to sensitize them.
The reason we are here, we are on a preventive mission, not curative, because we find out that the curative aspect of it is very costly. And
the outreach also featured free testing for diabetes, blood pressure, and urinalysis.
I've benefited from that because after running the test, they describe a medicine for me and they explain things to me, which I even don't know before.
According to experts, there is no cure for chronic kidney disease. The progression can only be slowed through dialysis, or the patient undergoes a kidney transplant, which is cost-effective. From this awareness, the key message by experts is for all to save our kidneys by drinking adequate water, exercising regularly, limit intake of alcohol and smoking, avoid herbal concoction, and don't abuse painkillers. In Abuja, Hakimat Aliu, NTA News.
Energy drinks have become popular across the continent and are consumed by Nigerians irrespective of gender. Energy drinks can be alcoholic or non-alcoholic. Correspondent Odiri Agboru-Arutere in this report examines the rise in the patronage of energy drinks and the implications of excess intake.
They come in different shapes, sizes, and packages with names that sometimes leave you with wild imaginations.
I don't know much about energy drink. I just know that when, at times during work, when the sun is too much, I take energy drink to just get myself for the day.
It gives us strength. Sometimes if you are weak, you take energy. No, like me, I can only take one a day. I don't take more than one. Some people say there is alcohol inside, but I don't think there is any alcohol.
The information on the beverage reveals that they mostly contain large amounts of caffeine, sugar, other additives, and stimulants.
Yeah, I drink energy drink a lot, man, especially during training. You know, sometimes when we are hydrated, we need something liquid. And mostly, energy drink goes well for it. It's not good for us during training because it don't normally give us that strength. Sometimes it makes us weak instead. Too much of heartbeat. That's what it causes. That's my own experience.
Sometimes I take play too whenever I have my depends when I have in my hand. We buy it when it comes out to new 250. Now it's going to 350, 400.
Anytime I take it, I will not sleep. I'll barely sleep. I could be up for 2 days without sleeping. So that is the reason why I stopped taking it.
Medical experts revealed that based on the content and its reactions to the human body system after intake, energy drinks are addictive and have damaging effects on the health of consumers.
Definitely, it has side effects. Anything that overstretch your capacity, your personal capacity beyond your natural limit, of course it will have effect. A lot of studies had been done that suggest that when you take energy drinks, caffeine, excessive sugar, all these stimulants above normal proportion, it tends to affect a lot of our organs, the heart, the kidney, the cardiovascular system generally, your nervous system, your ability to respond to stimulus. Insomnia, the person's ability to sleep will not be concurrent again, and it disturbs the sleep. Then palpitation, you will see the rate at which the heart is beating. And if the heart is not beating regularly the way it should be, definitely it can lead to hypertension, high blood pressure, and so on and so forth.
Energy drinks are largely available in almost every shop, including roadside vendors, and also quite affordable. Experts, however, warn against daily consumption and to guard their children and wards from abusive use of energy drinks. In Abuja, Odiri Agboru-Arutere, NTA News.
You're watching the news at 1 on NTA Channel 5, Abuja. Still to come on the news. CBN provides 100 billion naira worth of fertilizer to boost food production. These and more on business news in just a moment. Do stay.
Good evening, glad to have you join us.
Thanks for joining us on Weekly News Wrap.
Thank you very much for having me.
And it is on that note we welcome you to today's edition of the program.
We celebrate creativity, lasting impressions.
There's no book stating that this is the role for men.
On the news,
on the news at 7.
Jama'a barkanmu da wannan
The Little Station NTA Channel 5, Abuja would say have a lovely day.
Good to know you're there. World Consumer Rights Day is celebrated March 15 to raise global awareness about consumer rights and needs. Deborah Gazaji-Mike reports that celebrating the day is a chance to demand that the rights of all consumers are respected and protected against market abuses and social injustices which undermine those rights.
In too many occasions, Nigerians have complained about incessant violation of their rights as customers, but few demonstrate the patience to take up cases against defaulting companies. Data from the Consumer Protection Agency shows that the operators in the banking sector, aviation, and telecom are regular violators of consumers' rights. However, Shola Ajulo, President, Consumer Advocacy Foundation of Nigeria, says, as a consumer, you should be aware of your rights to safety, being informed, being held, and seek redress against any form of exploitative service.
Be able to escalate that situation to the sector regulator if the service provider does not respond to you. Then there is an apex regulator that the law sets up, and that is the Federal Competition and Consumer Protection Commission adjudicate. So if you have any conflict and you want to get resolution, just like the way you go to any regular court is the way you can come to the tribunal.
World Consumers' Rights Day is globally recognized with support from the United Nations and other international actors. For 40 years, Consumers International has run the campaign uniting the consumer movement to celebrate together.
Try as much as possible to listen to your customer, know where they are coming from, and then try to come to a consensus, try to come to a mid-ground where everybody can feel comfortable to operate.
Consumers International members helped select the campaign topic each year to help mobilize global action on pressing issues affecting consumers. In Abuja, Deborah Gazaji-Mike, NTA News.
In the spirit of peaceful coexistence and a demonstration of unity in diversity, which the Garki chiefdom represents, the Sape Garki Usman Ngakupi has installed Abubakar Kura Bukar as the Wakilin Borno in the Garki Traditional Council. This development, the Garki monarch says, will give all Nigerians a sense of belonging in the FCT. Abdullahi Ajia reports on the joyous occasion.
With the Garki Chiefdom Traditional Council in attendance, family, friends and well-wishers witnessed the installation of Muhammad Kura Bukar as the Wakilin Borno in the Garki Chiefdom cabinet. The Sapi Usman Ngakupi, who performed the installation ritual in accordance with traditional rites, reiterates that the chiefdom remains unique and accommodating to the diversity of the country, hence the need to carry everyone along in leadership.
Kanuri people have decided to choose Muhammad Kura, and our prayer we sing is may Allah guide him, give him wisdom to lead them. I have urged him to be patient with him, with his people and the other members of people who are residing as his children.
The traditional ruler used the occasion to also remind his subjects to be parts of community peace building through providing necessary support to security agencies as well as supporting leaders at different levels to succeed.
And Nigeria belongs to all of us. And what is more important, after our creation, Allah, we have the present government led by President Ahmed Bola Tinubu. We need to pray for them. We need to support them, cooperate with them, and at the same time, make sure we give them necessary advice.
The Sapi urged the new leader to be honest, just, and fair to his people in order to justify the confidence reposed in him. In Abuja, Abdullah Hajia, NTA News.
Let's join the business desk for business news. CBN provides fertilizers for local farmers to boost food production. Welcome to Business News. I am Aisha Ubali. The Central Bank of Nigeria has handed over 1 billion naira worth fertilizer to the Federal Ministry of Agriculture and Food Security to boost food production across the country. CBN Governor Olayemi Cardoso handed over the 2.15 million bags of fertilizers to the Minister of Agriculture and Food Security, Abubakar Kyari. In his address at the handing over ceremony, Cardoso said one of the primary mandates of CBN was to maintain price stability, stressing that the cost of food was a crucial component of inflation. Meanwhile, the Nigeria Ports Authority has disclosed that containerized exports rose by 44.43% to 226,456.20 equivalent units in 2023 from 156,790 TEUs in the previous year. In a press statement, NP attributed the leap in export to the licensing of 10 export processing terminals. It added that the terminals within the period under review facilitated exports at Nigerian seaports. And to some local news. Following the crisis that erupted on Tuesday at the Wuse Market in the Federal Capital Territory, shops are still under lock and keys as traders are lamenting the loss of their goods during the mayhem.
A visit to the market shows that though normalcy has returned, gates and shops are still under lock and keys. Innocent Omechina, Head of Operations, Corporate Affairs and Business Development of Abuja Market Management, says that they are taking all necessary steps to prevent the escalation of the situation. He also appealed to both sellers and buyers that the market will soon be open for commercial activities.
To see how we can improve on what we do here so that such things doesn't happen again.
It is evident that there is need for a swift and effective dialogue between all parties involved. I am Kama Kama, NTA News.
And that's much you can take on business news. Stay tuned, the news continues shortly. Many thanks, Aisha. Family members, friends, and well-wishers gathered at the Holy Trinity Catholic Church, Maitama, Abuja, for the Requiem Mass held in honor of late Louis Nwafo Obioha, husband of Manager News, NTA Sports, Agatha Obioha. Charity Zaka reports.
Late Mazi Louis Obioha passed on to glory after protracted illness. The Requiem Mass is part of the burial rites being carried out as prayers are offered for the deceased and the family for God to grant them the heart to bear the loss of their loved one. Friends and family members describe the deceased as a perfect gentleman.
He was always such a happy, jovial person, and his laugh would reverberate through the room and warm your hearts. That's what I miss the most, his laugh.
A very caring man, somebody who carries everybody along. There's no occasion that happens in the family, larger family, that you don't see him.
Full of fun, always a joy to have around, and his death is a terrible loss.
The church also prayed for journey mercy for those embarking on the burial trip to Late Mazi Obioha's village in far eastern part of the country.
Even after his operation on the lungs, he was still a cheerful person. He maintained his faith. He received Holy Eucharist. He was close to Jesus till he took his last breath. So we are confident that he did not waver in his faith. And of course, when somebody lives that kind of life, we expect that God grants you the reward that you deserve.
The disease is survived by 2 children and his wife Agatha Obioha of NTA. Charity Zaka, NTA News.
And now, Sports Brief.
The Barrister Nyasem Wike FCT School Sports Festival 2024 came to a rousing conclusion on Thursday at the main bowl of the MKO Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, with Government Secondary School Karo emerging overall champions. The festival, which began on February 22, 2024, with zonal preliminaries hosted at 8 centers across 6 area councils of the FCT, Abaji, Kwali, Kuje, Gwagwalada, Tungamaji, and Tudunwada, Duse Alaji, featured board events like Scrabble, chess, football, volleyball, handball, track and field, table tennis, and badminton. A key attraction of the final day were wheelchair races and race walk by special athletes from School of Children with Special Needs, Kuje, and School for the Gifted, Gwagwalada, while the football events of the primary and secondary were stood down for what the director of FCT Secondary School Sports Department, Malam Hashimu Adamu Oja, called Osla Academy. Kershi won the football gold in spectacular fashion on Wednesday by piping GSS Duse Alaji 1-0 in a closely fought final. Having hammered Vocational Enterprise Institute, Kuje 7-1, the academic, founded and owned by former President of the Nigerian Football Federation, Alhaji Sani Lulu Abdullahi, were the overwhelming favorites to win the gold medal. The match winner was Benjamin Alpha, who spotted jersey number 11. He scored from the penalty spot. With Sports Brief, Wayne Dugu, NTA News.
Thank you for being part of the News at 1 on NTA Channel 5, Abuja. See you again at 7 for more news. Good afternoon.